In the tell-all trailer for season 8 of Happily Ever After, we see Angela Deem, aka the Dirty Bird, storm off the set and say that she hates tell-alls, which begs the question, if you hate tell-alls so much, why do you keep coming back? Angela also said in the tell-all trailer that no woman deserves to be treated like this, referring to herself. Meanwhile, she treats her husband Michael like a slave.
That's where you be washing my clothes?
Michael touched down in the United States. Angela put him to work right away, doing all kinds of chores around the house, watching those grandbabies for free. She thought that she could bully this man into submission, have him be her do-boy, but he had other plans.
But there's something wrong. I don't think it's just me. I think he's really hiding he's gay, and it's okay. So you're in the U.S. now, Michael.
She has also insulted Michael's intelligence numerous times, which isn't very nice and also very ironic because he outsmarted her. So what does that say about her if she's calling him stupid and he escaped? And what about TLC had us jump through hoops to watch the tell-all part 1? They didn't put it on Discovery Plus. It was on TLC Go, and I didn't know about TLC Go's existence. I know about Pokemon Go, but not TLC Go. So I went on there to watch it, and guess what? I got 8 3-minute ads. When we first see Michael and Angela in episode 18, they're going for a drive. She's showing him his new home, Hazelhurst, Georgia.
Here's our neighborhood. You need to learn these roads now.
I'm trying to.
Just look,
look
get used to it. You're not used to no one driving you.
You need to learn these roads now, Michael, as she's smoking a cigarette with the window just slightly cracked down. She proceeds to speed and tell Michael and the audience that she is speeding, and Michael says that he's not used to driving with his wife, especially because she'll go from 0 to 100 so quick. Angela's laughing while her husband says this, but he's politely telling her that he doesn't feel safe with her behind the wheel because she's a reckless driver. In the past, Angela Deem was arrested and charged with a DUI, going 60 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour speed zone, so I'm surprised she's so nonchalant about speeding given her history. To make matters worse, Angela proceeds to say something so out of pocket. She says that the majority of drivers in Nigeria that are women aren't good drivers, and even Michael's like, bruh, why do you gotta disrespect my country all the time? Especially given her driving history, who is she to judge any other driver? This Christmas, instead of playing the Michael Bublé Christmas album, I'm gonna play the Dirty Bird and see how long it takes before my brother strangles me. Angela then pulls over at the gas station to teach Michael how to pump gas, and of course she makes it sexual, which is very awkward for the viewers. She then says, let's go in the gas station and get this chicken because they got great chicken here, which I highly doubt they have great chicken at the gas station. This is the fried chicken in question. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Right away, I was actually a little disappointed because they didn't give us much to work with. We didn't get her taking a bite of the chicken. I didn't get to hear the crunch or the slurpage because the fried chicken has to be juicy inside, has to be steamy, hot. The outside's gotta be crunchy. Also, she used no dipping sauce, which is a rookie move. To be honest, in my opinion, Michael lost a little bit of points here because she should not have dry chicken. It should be lathered up in sauce, and as the passenger, it is his job to do that because it's hard to drive and dip your chicken at the same time.
You fart in this car and make me throw up that chicken.
So mine stinks.
Yes, they smell pure like.
Thanks.
It's so jokes to watch Michael be so subservient when we know what eventually happens. He's like, Angela, you want to disrespect me and have me do all these tasks around the house, your laundry, watch your grandbabies? Okay, baby, anything for you. Meanwhile, he's pulling an Agent Cody Banks behind the scenes. He's contacting the rescue rangers, setting up an extract. Angela goes on to say that tonight they're going to have dinner with her daughter Skyla. They can't show Scotty on the show for obvious reasons. Angela goes on to say that she hopes that Michael can prove to Skyla that he's here for the right reasons. He's been with her for 7 years, so I don't know why she constantly says this. She always puts Michael in this position where he has to prove his loyalty when realistically she has to prove her loyalty as well. She's been unfaithful throughout their entire relationship. Cutscene of Angela telling Michael that he needs to decorate their house for Christmas.
You know, it's a couple days before Christmas, and I get into the spirit with the grandkids. We decorate all in the yard and around the house with lights, and now I got him to help.
Michael informs the audience that in Nigeria, the majority of people have Christmas trees but not lights on their houses, so this is a new experience for him.
Look, and you watch him, make sure he hits every nail, okay? Okay. I'll be back out. I am freezing.
I would have got the belt, no questions asked. I said in my last video that these kids need major pain. This is why. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be the belt. You can also give cayenne pepper. There's alternates. You know, cayenne pepper is a great tool because it builds up that spicy food tolerance, right? No, but seriously, a house without discipline raises brats, and kids at a young age need to understand that there's a hierarchy. You can't be shaking the ladder and screwing with someone when he's putting up Christmas lights trying to be good and do something nice for your family.
Papa, how do you like Americans so far?
So far, so good. The weather is cold. As you can see, my hand is freezing. We'll see about it. But so far, so good. It's quite nice.
Michael, you got some crusty, dirty feet.
Nah, that is so disrespectful. Michael should have this little porker run laps. Let's be honest though, Socks, are we surprised that this kid is so comfortable touching dudes without their permission, given how Angela and Scotty act? We've seen them numerous times touch people without their permission. For example, Scotty was touching a 13-year-old kid from the ages of 13 to 16, and Angela Deem has been known to touch a whole bunch of different guys without their permission. We have a video of her grabbing a guy's ball sack at a bar.
You need some lotion. Oh, you're right, Book. I'm gonna get him some foot care and some lotion, some skincare. You're gonna need it.
No wonder why Michael left. Who would want to watch Booger and the rest of the brats for free? One of the brats says, "Them dogs is barking," referring to Michael's feet, and he's talking to the audience like, whoa, wait a second, you guys. Is this how kids in the United States behave? Absolutely not. This is a terrible representation of our country. Michael finds himself in quite the predicament right now because these kids are messing with him, acting up, and he can't do anything about it. If he spanks them, straight to jail. Mima's not even there. She's leaving him unattended with these kids. It's his first day in the United States. That is so crummy to do. And even if she was there, she wouldn't discipline them. She would side with them and think it's funny. Yeah, let's all bully Michael together as a family. And present day, she wants to go on TikTok live with her stupid tiara and talk about how this man scammed me. Anyone would leave. If any other person was in this position, they would plan to leave because the way that y'all act is unacceptable. Here's the best one, you guys. Later that night, Angela and Michael are driving, and she tells Michael that she can't see because of her stigma. And he's thinking to himself, you can't see? What do you mean? I'm in the car with you. My life is in your hands, you crazy person. Thankfully, God wills it. They arrive at the restaurant. They meet Ray, who is working at the front. He's very respectful. He introduces himself to Michael, and then he shows the lovebirds to their table. Turns out that Skyla is already waiting for them at the table.
Hey, Michael.
Back off, Skyla.
I don't want your man,
I
Mother.
can't tell.
Skyla then says to the audience that she doesn't think Michael's in this relationship with her mother for the right reasons. And when she says this, we're all side-eyeing her because your mother's not in a relationship with Michael for the right reasons. Michael's using Mama. Well, Mama's using Michael too, because without Michael, her punching bag on all these TLC shows, she wouldn't be as interesting to watch. People tune in to hate watch this woman. We all know that. Skyla goes on to say that she doesn't want the kids to get attached to someone that doesn't mean well, which is hilarious because her sister is a child molester. She was molesting a boy from the age of 13 to 16. I believe I've said that already. All the dirty birds living in this house are not teaching these kids discipline, morals, integrity, honor, anything. They have nothing to teach. So people like this shouldn't have had children, but here we are.
I want you to try the shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits.
Yes.
Chicken fingers.
No, grits and shrimp.
This is his first nighttime meal in America. Let the man order what he wants. If he wants chicken fingers, get him chicken fingers. You know what I mean? She's way too controlling and bossy. Then a bird that's dirty goes on to insult all of Nigerian food. She says that this is real food and Nigerian food isn't real. We've all been saying that Angela has ignorant colonizer energy, but she really reminds me of Radcliffe from Pocahontas, especially when he's singing that song, "They're savages, savages, barely even human." Because to be honest with you, the way that she talks about Nigerians pisses me off. There's so many Nigerians living in the United States that went the legal route, got their paperwork, and they're dual citizens. We all know when someone becomes a citizen of our country, they're a citizen, and it doesn't make you more of a citizen that you grew up here. If anything, it's a great opportunity to show them why our country's so awesome, and you're not doing that. Angela says it's nice to be together as a family, and her daughter says that she admits she never thought that Michael would eventually make it to the United States.
Bon appetit.
Michael gets his shrimp and grits and he gives it a smell check because God only knows where they got the shrimp from. He's smelling it. He's very skeptical of the shrimp and grits. He takes a bite, starts chewing, and oh boy, is it awful. Michael then tells the audience that he misses his home Nigeria and the food there because it's so tasty and delicious. And to be honest with you, I've heard that. I've never had Nigerian food. This area especially, I feel like there's a lot of small towns in the United States where the food has no flavor and they don't season it properly.
Oh my God. You want to try some? You want to try this?
I'm good.
That's ribs. Remember I kept telling you about hog? That's hog.
Oh.
So Michael takes a bite of Angela's rib, and then next thing you know, we look at him. He's making all kinds of faces when he's chewing this rib. And I don't know if he's got a splinter or something in his mouth, but he goes like this.
Okay.
You pig? Did you just spit on there?
It's no spit.
Michael, did you?
And then she calls this man a liar when he says that he didn't spit. He didn't spit. She doesn't know the definition of spitting. Is eject saliva forcibly from one's mouth, sometimes as a gesture of contempt or anger.
Babe,
What did you
it's not-
do?
He just spit on the wall. You went, why did you do that? You're sitting here denying.
I'm not denying.
You spitted. Stop lying.
He blew air. He didn't spit. No saliva came out of this man's mouth. It's obvious that there was something janky in the rib. It already didn't look visually appealing. So now she's trying to gaslight him and trying to make him feel like he's a liar and getting on him. She takes a bite of a rib and spits it on him, which is so disrespectful. She's trying to make the example that that's what he did. No giant rib chunk came out of his mouth. It's so idiotic what she's trying to do here. And to disrespect your man like that at dinner in front of all these people and in front of your daughter especially, it's so crummy. Socks, if I'm lying, I'm dying. This scene has blown me away because she has the audacity after spitting this disgusting chunk of her gross rib on her husband's chest. She gets up and says that he was disrespectful to her and her friend's restaurant. You're the one that took a bite of the rib and spit it at him. I've seen so many 90 Day Fiancé fans point out that Angela Deem looks like the Crypt Keeper, and that's not really fair to the Crypt Keeper because his dad was a two-headed freak and his mom was a mummy. Angela used to be human.
Seeing Michael spit something out of his mouth at this restaurant, I was like, what did he just do? This is a nice restaurant. That pissed me off. And it wasn't that he spit, it's how he said he didn't do it. Here you go again. You're lying dead in my face.
Nah, you're lying, you're a gaslighter, and you're never going to admit when you do an oopsie poopsies. When you make a mistake, you're never gonna come to terms with reality and say, you know what, I'll own up to the mistakes that I've made in this relationship.
I'm all right now. You just really upset me.
I
Sorry.
apologize for
It's
that.
okay.
please.
I'm sorry. It's okay. That was just rude.
Sorry.
Wow, how backwards is this? This woman disrespected him and he takes the initiative to apologize. He's taking the initiative to kiss her on the cheek and make her feel like everything's okay. If anything, it should be reversed. And she says sorry, but she doesn't mean sorry. When someone says sorry and they don't go into details about what they did wrong, they're not genuinely apologizing.
Angie got mad at me that I spit at the table. It is not spit. There's a little, what's it called? Particle in my mouth from in my lips. So I just not actually spit.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I thought it was a bone shard from the rib because they look janky, but it was on his lip. I get that then. Okay, we all do that. It's not like he picked it off and flicked it at her daughter, Skyla, or something crazy. You know what I mean? He did it real quick. He didn't mean to be rude. That's the thing, is with Angela, she has to take it 3 notches up. Anyone else would have just said, oh, babe, what's going on?
I would never spit on the floor or spit on the wall. I don't even do that back home. Talk less of doing it here in the States. And she got upset.
Michael, you have held yourself well despite the constant disrespect. You don't even need to explain yourself, buddy. All right? We know that you wouldn't do that. You've displayed more manners than this entire household already, and you just arrived in the United States. It is 1 day since he's here. And you know what the most ironic part is about a narcissist like Angela Deem is you did the most to try and paint him out as this Nigerian savage. You did the very thing that you were mad at him for doing. You spit food at your husband, and I'm sure it ended up on the floor. disrespecting your friend's establishment, this restaurant, right? So you did that. It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. You want to make it seem like this guy's the villain and it's all his fault. Everything in your life that's wrong is his fault, and it's not the case.
You know, this is real love. This ain't, I made a commitment to God for better or worse, and if I leave, it's gonna be because I tried my best to keep my word to him.
There's so many people in my friend group that believe different things, and I don't get upset when people present different ideas. What really bothers me is the gaslighting, and that's what we saw with the opening from the Olympic Games. I can't show footage because they'll copyright strike this video. However, what they said was that it's the Feast of Dionysus. They were making fun of the Last Supper, and you can see that by how the person that was the centerpiece posted this. This picture shows us everything we need to know, talking about the new gay testament, and then they quickly deleted these posts that they made because they didn't want the smoke from the Christians. I would love to know what y'all think in the comments about this, but this person labels themselves as a love activist. How are you a love activist when you mock a religion of around 2.4 billion people? It doesn't make you a love activist. If anything, it reminds me of the Gabe Mahmood situation that we saw happen on the tell-all, because there's a lot of people that have chips on their shoulder with organized religion concerned, which I understand if you've had a negative experience, but don't persecute everyone. Don't make fun of an entire faith because you've had a problem with certain members of that faith. Does that make sense? It just comes across so hypocritical. And then to try and gaslight us and tell us we didn't see what we saw. What about the part of the dog water performance when a man's dancing with children and then all of a sudden his entire ball sack is out? On national TV, this is the Olympics opening ceremony, and a dude's nutsack is dangling. The outrage, the backlash is well deserved. A lot of people watch the Olympic Games together as a family with their children present. It's horrifying. It felt like one of those Hollywood humiliation rituals. Whoa, this video took a turn. That's enough ranting about how dog water the world is. Let's talk about something very important, which is the dirty bird. So in episode 19, she's walking Michael through how to do all this laundry, and he's thinking to himself, why am I doing all the laundry for all the kiddos? She explains to him that she told him from the start that kids are the priority. They get their laundry done before you, Michael. They eat before you, Michael. It's all about the children. So the children run this household, and Michael is always going to be priority number 2.
I do expect Michael to pitch in half of what I do to run this household because it is draining for me. And I think it's only fair that he helps me, and I appreciate him helping me.
Okay, it's nice that she appreciates Michael's hard work, but what value does she bring to his life to justify him picking up half of this workload?
Do you think I will ever get a chance to wash my own clothes?
You'll get to him next week. You still got some clothes to wear before you go naked. And maybe I should let you go naked.
Ah, so you want your husband to be naked around the house and there's children at this house. I'm not going to go off on another tangent because I already went off on one, but this is why I went off on that other tangent. It's because she says things like this. Some people may think I'm overreacting here, which maybe I am, but recently we saw John, the president of the Dirty Bird fan club, in one of the grandbaby's rooms on a live stream saying he was going to take a brick and bash a fan's head in with it. On a brighter note, the next day is Christmas. Yay, Santa! Oh my gosh! The grandbabies come out in their matching PJs. Everyone's in a great mood. And then Angela shows us these ornaments that she got.
What are those?
Yeah.
Who's the queen?
Memo.
What do I say about it? Just another one of her strange hills that she constantly dies on is trying to redefine the word queen. Anyway, Michael hits his dancey dance with the grandbabies. After they decorate the tree, it's time for supper, so they make their way to the dinner table, and one of the grandbabies points out that the mac and cheese isn't hot, which is a hard swerve, and then Angela makes it a whole spectacle that Michael is trying ham for the first time.
Let's see. Can you taste the ham?
The Dirty Bird clan asks Michael if the food tastes good, and he nods his head because he's a polite liar. But really, he's thinking this food tastes awful, and we can tell by what it looks like. There's not one dish on this table that appears to be made with fresh ingredients, and Angela claims that she's Italian. If that's the case, where's the entire table of homemade cookies? Where's the Italian food? I don't see any Italian food here, do you?
All American food is so... it's weird. I miss my own food, honestly. But this time, I'm not spitting anything out. I will just eat what I can eat.
Pop it up for them. You see what happens now. Michael has a negative perception of all American food. Thanks a lot, Bird. One of the producers probably said, you should play 20 questions with Michael. So the first question is from the grandbaby London, who asked Michael, what was Christmas like in Nigeria?
We cook jollof rice, and some chicken.
Michael goes on to say they would make a chicken sauce, and all the kids are like, ew, that's gross, chicken sauce? Then the other granddaughter, Araya, asks Michael if they got presents in Nigeria around Christmas time. Michael responds, no, what they do in Nigeria is they cook a bunch of food and they share their food with others, and everyone eats and shares stories.
What is your favorite part about the United States?
I don't have any.
Me, bitch.
That was the right answer.
Here's a wacky idea. How about we don't normalize calling your husband a bitch at Christmas dinner in front of all the grandbabies? They engage in a bit of small talk, and then Michael says the best part about being in the United States is spending time with his new family, which is so cap, but a great answer.
I ain't seen you take pictures or anything. If I go to Nigeria, I'm taking about 100 pictures. You ain't took not one since you've been here.
Because I don't have a phone.
For a second there, I thought Michael was going to say there's nothing worth taking photos of, but that was just an intrusive thought, my bad. So it turns out that Meemaw didn't tell her daughter or the grandbabies that she broke Michael's phone. So Michael proceeds to tell everyone present that Angela broke his phone, and Angela makes a shocked dirty bird face. Angela tells the audience that she didn't want to worry her family. That's the reason she didn't tell them that she broke Michael's phone, but the actual reason is that she always wants to place herself in the victim position. So she's not going to tell her family the bad things that she does in the relationship. Angela turns to Michael and says, "Are you kidding me right now, Michael?" And then before he can say anything, she cuts him off and says, "Hey, let's talk about this later because right now we're in front of the family." Angela then tells the audience that if she didn't trust Michael, he wouldn't be here, which of course he would, because TLC gave her that ultimatum. For years, they've wanted to film Michael's journey to America. And who had been wanted to be on reality TV for a very long time? Meemaw do. Thank you. Exactly. I proved my point. Case solved. Anyways, she proceeds to walk to the kitchen with her daughter Skyla and tell her that Michael belonged to a group called the Paradise Men, which sounds incredibly sus. And I guess it's a group of a bunch of Nigerian men that are sharing information about the visa process because they're in relationships with American women. Michael told Angela that he deleted the app off his phone, but he lied. It wasn't deleted. So when she found that out, she broke his phone, which he shouldn't be lying. She shouldn't break his phone. Both people can be wrong here.
And I just snapped and I said, you know what? I said, now, paradise that bitch. And after that,
how emotionally drained is her daughter Skyla right now? I'm sure she's thinking to herself, Mama, I know you want to be famous real bad, but a little stability would be good for just about the entire family. What about reliable Al that works at the dealership?
So do you think destroying the phone solved the problem? That was all your evidence you had on there.
I done got everything I need to know.
Skyla, we can see that you're the brains of this outfit. She brings up a good point, and Angela goes on to say that she saw everything she needed to see from the phone. I'm very curious what she saw on the phone, because when she had the phone, it was blurred, like TLC blurred the screen, which I wanted to get a look at that. Angela's the type where if she had evidence that Michael was a scammer, she would definitely present that. Anyways, her daughter Skyla goes on to say, since she doesn't trust Michael none, they should go hire a private investigator. Cutscene to Angela and her daughter walking into the Chinese buffet, a great place to meet a private investigator. Hats off to them.
So handsome.
Wow, the hypocrisy, Dirty Bird. Imagine if the roles were reversed and Michael met a private investigator behind your back that was a woman and he called her beautiful. But we're not surprised because Angela flirts with every single man she sees, yet demands absolute loyalty from her husband, Michael. So they sit down at the Chinese buffet and Angela unloads on this poor private investigator, telling him about the relationship she has with Michael, about what she found when she looked through his phone.
Michael told me it's all Nigerian men married to American women, and they're just all helping each other. Called Paradise Men.
And who knows what's going to happen when everyone in this group chat ends up in the United States. You have a network of people you can hang out with, start a business with. It's a smart thing to do. I don't think it's a dumb thing to do. You know, if I was in Michael's position, I would probably do that as well. The problem with Angela is that throughout this entire relationship, she has wanted to isolate Michael.
Trying to get their visas to the US.
Trying to get the visas to US. And
Okay.
here he ain't even got to US, so how is he an ambassador? But anyway, that's what he told me. And then I found a girl that was supposed to be a part of the chat group, and he was helping.
She goes on to say to the audience that Michael just got out of trouble for cheating, and it took her about a whole year to shut up about it. So right now, Angela's trying to paint Michael out as a cheater for talking with a married woman about the visa process because she's also in a relationship with an American and plans to move to the United States. Her name is Cheetah, and supposedly this is what she looks like.
Isn't that ironic? Her name's Cheetah.
Ain't it
We're
ironic?
talking.
Cheetah. I
Cheetah.
cheat on you ass.
Yeah.
His explanation is he's helping her and her husband so they can get their visa and be together. And I'm thinking, first of all, you can't get your own goddamn visa.
Present day, and sorry for the time skips. It might feel like you're watching a Marvel movie, but check out Kiki and Kibit's post. When reposting suddenly has you dating the original poster. Does 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After star Michael Ilasami have a girlfriend? Angela slides into the original poster's DMs laughing at her, and the original poster responds, "Good evening, you guys have the story all wrong. I have never spoken to Michael, and I've been in Mexico all weekend." I don't know what else they say, but how unhinged is this? That she's actually reaching out to this woman because Michael reposted something she posted. That doesn't mean that they're dating. That doesn't mean they're talking. That doesn't mean they're friends. It's so brain dead. So Michael denies dating her because he just reposted something she posted, and then he has to clear it up on TikTok Live. It's actually really sad. It created more work for him, and it was so unnecessary. The next slide shows that Kiki and Kibitz reached out to this woman and said, "Hi, my name is Mary, and I'm a blogger. I want to clear up the confusion about you being Michael's girlfriend. I know you aren't his new girlfriend. I asked Michael, and he said he didn't know you. I saw you message Angela, and she put it on TikTok. I saw the original repost, and I don't know how people got the idea you are his new girlfriend. I keep reporting that you aren't. Would you like to give a statement to clear all the confusion up?" Megan responded, "Hello there. Yeah, I have no idea how they spun it that way. I just love the video and could relate to that new sense of freedom cruise. When my friends started sending me all the videos and pictures, I was going to let it fizzle out until she started mentioning my home state." Then she sends the screenshots of her conversation with the Dirty Bird and says, "I never saw her message until I got back from Mexico." The next slide is diabolical. Easy to see how Angela would be jealous. Yeah, absolutely. This woman is beautiful. Angela isn't. She's very insecure about that. And we can see that by how the first season on the show, when Michael was introducing Angela to his show friends, and by show friends, I mean highly probable that they're just there because TLC told them to be there. So Angela doesn't even sit down, give these women the time of day because they're better looking than her. She feels threatened, so she storms off. And then she starts yelling at Michael and says, "How dare you introduce me to those girls? How dare you have girls as friends?" This happened very recently. Bird That's Dirty, when are you going to learn that you don't trust others because you yourself can't be trusted, given how you act, given how you flirt with literally every guy you see? It's so crummy. It's such low moral, low vibration garbage. What kind of example are you setting for your grandchildren? Not a good one.
I found on his phone a recent search of, this is terrible, life insurance policy for 50 and over.
Okay.
And I just turned 58.
He did what?
Okay, but if you're married to a younger man, why wouldn't he look that up? Life insurance policies, especially in the United States, are a lot of money. I believe it's around $168,000. I could only imagine when you enter a relationship and there's an over 20-year age difference, these kind of questions would be Google search. So I don't really find that strange. I highly doubt that Angela would give Michael a penny of her life insurance policy. She'd probably give it to the dog before Michael.
The fact that Michael was looking up life insurance policies on Mama is just a red flag, and now I'm worried about my mama's safety.
Whoa, Skyla, don't try to get all true crimesy on us. You think Michael would invest all this time and allow your mother to disrespect him in the many ways she has for years, finally get to the United States, and then ruin it all by killing her? Nah. My mom always told me that success is the best revenge, and what is success? To live the most beautiful life, which is what Michael is planning on doing with whatever woman he starts a family with here in the United States. Angela's big mad. Now let's talk about the tell-all. At the beginning of the tell-all, we can see that the cast members are staying in a mad luxurious custom home. Patrick and Thais are the first to arrive and claim the biggest bedroom, which sends Jasmine into outer orbit because she wanted to have the biggest bedroom.
There's some big rooms.
Did you pick up the biggest?
Yes, it did.
She did.
That's not fair. Who organized this? I wanted to be the first. No, I'm honestly disappointed. What ties and Patrick? I mean, give it to the rest of us who have a miserable marriage and live in a miserable place, a miserable life.
Oh, look at Jasmine wearing her sash from the beauty pageant. So jokes. So the first time we see Michael is on the set. He walks in the room and everyone is hyped to see him. As everyone is greeting Michael, we see Kobe give him a big hug and say to the audience that he knows Michael is in a tough spot right now. He goes on to say, being an African man, it's really crazy to see Michael stick it out with a woman like Angela, given her personality. He also says the chemistry sometimes he doesn't get it, neither do we. Michael then apologizes that him and Angela couldn't make it to the house last night. This raises some questions, so the other cast members ask him if him and Angela were fighting last night, and he politely responds they had a misunderstanding and it's a private matter between them. I know, right? What a classy response from Michael. Angela could never. Cutscene of the Dirty Bird arriving on set. Ed hobbles over to greet Angela and asks her why she never showed up at the house yesterday.
We got a major verbally throw down. Like, I never seen him like this. The he's been doing since we arrived, I don't trust him. That's why we didn't go to the house last night.
Yeah, right. If she was telling the truth, she would go into details. Besides, she's the aggressor in every single argument that she has with her husband, Michael.
I don't want to go for him to get behind my back and be, oh, he's such a great guy and Angela's a crazy bitch. No, you're not who you present yourself to be, and you're not going to do it here.
What an airball these out-of-pocket comments are. Not to mention, the footage says otherwise, Dirty Bird. Present day, she's doing the most to smear Michael's name on social media nonstop. Meanwhile, he doesn't stoop to her level. Michael posts motivational videos and dances, dudes trying to genuinely move forward with his life, and she comes across so pathetic by constantly trying to drag him into the drama.
You're not gonna go mingle with the guys and then act like you're such a nice guy and everybody thinks it's me. I'm not covering it up no more.
Yeah.
Angela then tells Edward that last night her and Michael stayed in different rooms at the hotel.
As much as I don't trust him, man.
He should be glad
I don't understand.
he should be
what's
glad
going
he's
on,
here.
man.
Oh yeah, why is that, Eddie boy? Because he's originally from Nigeria? This man has waited 7 years to enter this country. That's longer than any relationship you've ever had.
I feel bad saying this to us. I don't like to do this. I like to just hold it and not tell people.
Yeah.
When
Please, Dirty Bird, you're the first person to spill your business on the internet. I can't believe that she just said that, Socks.
I swear that's my heart. I wish I never brought him here. He's making a fool out of me.
Get a load of Ed over here. He probably thinks this is relatable because he accused Rose of using him for a visa as well. Meanwhile, she's still living in the Philippines. Richer suitors that look normal have offered to put her on scholarship, but she chose to remain there because unlike Ed, she actually cares about her family and isn't selfish. As all of us know that are putting in this work, we are mirrors attracting our own reflection, so I'm not surprised that Ed and Angela are pals.
Like,
I want
right
to
away.
do it.
Don't wait.
I know,
don't.
I can't
And
wait.
I know you love
He's
him.
been rushing me for a license, rushing me green card. I'm not getting you, bitch.
No.
Why are you in a rush?
Yeah.
Ew, you guys, this low IQ gossip actually makes me want to throw up, talking about sending him back. It's so ridiculous. For all these years, she has held the green card over Michael's head and threatened him with it, so I'm sure he wants everything to be finalized to obtain peace of mind. Anyways, the grotesque barbarian gives Ed a hug. We peep her outfit, and we aren't surprised to see American flag attire. It's so cringe. Ed then says to the audience that Angela has his back, so he wants to have hers, but he still wants to hear Michael's side of the story. Angela walks out wearing a purple outfit with a crown on her head. She's built like Gru from Despicable Me and meaner than a junkyard dog, so I'm sure this is about to be really chaotic.
Why are you sitting in here?
Because
Because why?
Bad form, Dirty Bird. That's no way to greet your husband in front of the other cast members and the entire world. Angela then reminds Michael that she told him to get out of her sight and she made herself clear. There were some cuss words that were used but were bleeped out. Angela continues that Michael isn't going to have time to make these people think she is the bad one, and some of the other cast members tell her that Michael Whittlewilly didn't say anything bad about her before she walked out. In typical Angela fashion, she raises her voice, speaks over the other cast members, and tells them basically to stay out of her business.
He's not gonna do the nice guy to y'all in front of me no more. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you.
You should let him talk. That way we
Listen,
can see.
I don't
we
listen.
can
Listen.
see. We can see who he
Mind your
is.
business.
Don't worry.
Mind because I don't have nothing against you. Mind your business.
It's alright.
Hey, Rob, dab me up. Good on him for saying something because the rest of the cast members cower in front of Angela. My question for her would be, how do you expect us to stay out of your business when you're being so loud and making your business known? Washing your Dirty Bird laundry on the streets for all to see.
Personally, I'm not afraid to just confront Angela. My only fear is that I'll confront Angela and it'll be crickets from everyone else because everyone else is afraid to confront Angela.
No, Rob, you were so close. I get where you're coming from, but if you were a maverick and put her in her place, the entire fan base of the show would respect you so much more. She's gotten away with abusing Michael and physically attacking innocent people, for example, Avery's mom on one of the past tell-alls. So we're all waiting for someone to throw down the gauntlet.
Why don't you tell him why I'm upset?
Yeah,
Why don't you let you talk?
I told them.
You told them what?
we
How
had
you
to-
sleep in the living room? How you haven't your wife in 2 months?
Here's a wacky idea, Angela. Maybe if you were nicer to Michael, he would close his eyes and smash. Not to mention it's moronic to out this in front of everyone because off the top of our heads, we can think of 99 reasons why he isn't in your guts right now. Jasmine says to the audience, that poor man, every time he tries to start a sentence, she cuts him off. By all means, Jasmine, go spicy, crazy Latina mode. Why does Gino just get the rage? Go off on Angela. I would love to see a battle of the Titans. We're never going to see it. I don't understand why no one in this room is sticking up for Michael right now.
You knew me for 7 years. You got all these people out there in the goddamn world thinking I'm a bitch, and I'm a good-hearted mother.
Okay, hear me out. Raising your voice when you say something doesn't make it true. We all are fully aware that Angela Deem is a terrible person by now.
If I wouldn't be here right now pouring my heart out in front of these people. How you've treated me.
It's okay, Angela.
And I'm not a crier, but there's only so much I can take. And you've been a...
Yeah, crazy. Hats off to Michael for remaining calm, because I've never seen anyone talk to another person like this. If Angela was a man and Michael was a woman, they would never air this segment. Angela goes on to bring up the woman Michael cheated on her with in year 2022, but to keep things 100, that was after she cheated on Michael with Billy. While Angela's having a belligerent rant, throwing Michael's past infidelity in his face, one of the TLC crumbs comes out and tells the creatures it's time to take the main stage. Angela's screaming, "You do what you want, and I hate tell-alls, I hate this place." Look at this clown ghost socks. Angela can hooter and holler all she wants. We've reached the point where no one believes anything she says, and she only has herself to blame. My wet socks, hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about Angela and Michael. If you got some spare coin, please check out our Yourwetsock channel membership program for the custom emojis, the exclusive content, all ad-free videos. 10 out of 10, totally worth.